Welcome to the Jose Candelario Show, where we tackle the most pressing issues of our time, like why it's perfectly normal to cycle past the Liberty Bell in nothing but your birthday suit, or why your friends think they're sneaky when they lie about dinner reservations. We've got a jam-packed show today, so let's dive right in. First up, let's talk about the Philly naked bike ride. Yes, because nothing screams fuel conservation quite like a pack of naked people pedaling through the city of brotherly love. Yes, this past Saturday marked the 15th annual event where hundreds of brave souls bared it all for a 10-mile ride. And when I say bear it all, I mean picture Independence Hall, the Liberty Bell, a parade of liberated individuals letting it all hang out. Now, the organizers insist this is about promoting body positivity and reducing our carbon footprint. But let's be real here, folks. What better way to show that you care about the environment than by giving your fellow citizens a view they can't unsee? And hey, at least they don't have to worry about the tan lines, right? And just remember, this event is inclusive of all human-powered transportation. So if you're not up for biking in the buff, feel free to rollerblade, skateboard, or even scooter your way through downtown Philly. And make sure you wear plenty of sunscreen, and please, elbow pads and knee pads, and if you can find them, butt pads too, because man, that's going to leave a mark if you fall. Next, let's move on from naked bikes to naked ambition. If you're a betting person, November 5th might be your lucky day. That's right, folks. The 2024 presidential election is right around the corner, and while American sportsbooks can't take your bets now, or who's going to be the next leader of the free world, those crafty offshore sites sure can. According to the latest odds, Vice President Kamala Harris has a narrow favorite over former President Donald Trump. And why wouldn't she be? The betting favorite has only lost twice since 1866, so clearly that makes this entire process about most reliable as a magic 8-ball. Now, I know you're thinking, shouldn't there be more concern about the state of democracy? And to that I say yes. But you can also win big money. Just imagine the bragging rights at your next Thanksgiving dinner where you tell your family you not only voted, but you also cashed in on it. America, where democracy and capitalism go hand in hand, literally. Speaking of vicious cycles, let's talk about the biggest debate sweeping the internet. Is it okay to lie to your friends about what time they need to be somewhere? A viral video has sparked a debate after a woman revealed that her friends tricked her into being on time by lying about the reservations. That's right, they tell her the dinner is at 8 when it's actually 8:30, and guess what? It works. But now the internet is torn. Is it ingenuous? Is it an ingenuous tactic or just plain rude? Some commenters say if you can't show up on time, you shouldn't be invited. Others say, hey, we got that one friend who's perpetually late. That's probably me right here. But let's be real. If you got a friend who's consistently late, then what's the point? You could just stop hanging around with them. Or better yet, you just lie about everything. Oh, you missed a concert? Don't worry. It was rescheduled for next week. That way, everyone's happy and your friend might actually show up on time for the next one for once. Finally, let's dive into relationship advice that waves on social media no contact rule. Now, this is a simple idea of cutting off all communication with your ex to make them miss you and want you back, because nothing says I'm over you like blocking someone on every platform than waiting for them to notice. Now, this is advice given by influencers, okay? So now you gotta take this with a grain of salt. But here's a catch. The actual experts say that if you're doing this to get your ex back, you're really missing the point. No contact is supposed to be for you, to give you space to heal and move on. So really, this is less about them and more about self-care. But hey, if it works and they come crawling back, that's just a bonus, right? It's like playing emotional Jenga. Just be careful and because everything could come crashing down on you, all right? So people are always now debating, should you really be getting all your advice from an influencer on social media, or same thing with your medical advice, it's for entertainment purposes only, okay? That's all I'm gonna say. Ever been on a plane, looked up at that glowing no smoking sign and thought, wait, isn't that smoking banned on planes? Well, you're not alone. It turns out that despite smoking being outlawed for flights for over 30 years, the FAA still requires planes to have that switch for the no smoking sign. And until recently, no one really noticed or cared. That is until American Airlines grounded an entire fleet of new planes because they were not equipped with this outdated switch. Yes, in 2024, still worried about that sign. Literally no one ever looks at it anymore. It's like keeping a horse and buggy in your garage just in case your car breaks down. The FAA finally decided to toss out the rule, so from now on, airplanes won't need the switch. And it's about time we got rid of the pointless regulation. Next up, can we do something about those little tiny airplane bathrooms? Yeah, I barely fit my butt in one. Speaking of things that should be tossed, let's talk about pickle brine. A lot of pickle fans out there. You know, that stuff that you usually down the drain after the pickle is gone. Well, hold on to your horses or your pickles, because pickle experts, yes, there's such a thing as a pickle expert, say that you're throwing away liquid gold, if you want to call it that. According to April McGregor, a chef and fermenter, which is, I guess it exists, that leftover brine can be reused to make more pickles, up to 2 or 3 times, in fact. And if you're not in the mood for more pickles, well, you can use it in a salad dressing or add it to a soup, taco, scrambled eggs, basically anything you want to give it a weirdly tangy kick to. You can even use it to brine meat or add it to a cocktail like a Bloody Mary. So next time you finish your jar of pickles, remember that brine has more lives than a cat. Now let's go over to sports real quick and let's talk about baseball. It's been a pretty bad year for baseball, especially with the offensive productivity down and people actually just falling asleep during the games. But let's talk rather all now hot not to play the sport, just like the Chicago White Sox. They have just secured their place in history as one of the worst teams ever. On Sunday, they became the second fastest team in modern era to lose 100 games. That's right, folks, 100 losses. They're so bad, they're making the 1916 Philadelphia A's look like World Series contenders. And let's not forget, the White Sox recently tied the American League record for the longest losing streak in 21 games. At this point, you have to wonder if they're even trying to win, or if they're just settling for a new standard of how low a team can go. With a season record of 31-100, the only thing they have left to play for is the dubious honor of breaking the modern major league record for most losses in a season. And well, at least they're going to be breaking the record. Good luck with that. Switching gears to a winner for a change, let's talk about tennis superstar Coco Gauff. At just 20 years old, she's already secured her place in history by becoming a Wheaties champion. That's right, Coco is getting her very own iconic orange Wheaties box, joining the ranks of legends like Billie Jean King. And the timing couldn't be better with the 2024 U.S. Open kicking off this week. Is a pretty big deal because when you're on the Wheaties box, you officially made it. And it's like the sports version of getting your own face on Mount Rushmore. So congratulations to Coco Gauff. Let's hope she doesn't let the fame get to her head and start demanding only orange M&Ms in her locker room. And I think that she should have been on the cover of Cocoa Puffs with that name instead of Wheaties, because Cocoa Puffs actually taste better. Let's dig into the world of tech and fashion and the delightful ways that they're colliding to make sure you look like you just stepped off of the set of a new budget sci-fi movie. We're talking about something that's straight out of the Jetsons, technology-enabled clothing. Yes, because nothing says I'm ready for the future like a shirt that needs a software update. Now, in case you're wondering, what the heck is technology-enabled clothing? Well, let me break it down to you. It's basically clothing that's been upgraded to do more than just cover your body. We're talking about shirts that track your heart rate, jackets that can warm you up in the touch of a button, and pants that change color depending on your mood. You know, the kind of stuff you've always dreamed of when you were 12, playing video games in your mom's basement. Let's start with the basic. Health monitoring is a big one. We've got smart shirts that can monitor your heart rate, breathing patterns, and maybe even your anxiety levels as you realize you're wearing a shirt that's smarter than most people that you know. I mean, what can be better than your shirt sending you a notification that says, hey buddy, your heart rate's a little high. Maybe it's time to lay off the triple espresso and chill for a minute. But it doesn't stop there, folks. Oh no. We've got posture correcting t-shirts. That's right. A shirt that'll give you a little zap when you start slouching, because nothing says I care about my posture like being electrocuted by your own wardrobe. Can you imagine you're in a meeting trying to look like a professional and suddenly you're twitching like you've been possessed by the ghost of bad posture past? Next up, we got jackets with built-in heaters, because apparently putting on an extra layer is just too much work these days. These jackets come with the buttons that let you control the temperature so you can be toasty warm while everyone else is freezing their butts off. I mean, why suffer through the cold like a normal human being when you can just press a button and turn your jacket on like a portable sauna? But here's where it gets really fun. Color changing pants. Yes, you heard me right. Pants that change color based on your mood. Now, I don't know about you, but I already can see a potential awkward situation here. Imagine you're on your first date trying to keep your cool, but your pants keep changing. You're calm blue to anxious red. Suddenly your pants are more honest than you are. And so she'll ask, are you nervous? And no, of course not. Meanwhile, your pants are like, liar, liar. They literally will be on fire. Let's not forget about communication because apparently pulling out your phone is just too much work now. We've got tech-enabled clothing that lets you control devices with gestures. Want to change the song? Just swipe your sleeve. You want to turn on the lights? Tap your pocket. If it's like we're all turning into wizards, casting spells with our clothing. Lumos! And the lights come on. Or you look like you're instructing the first base runner to not steal. But here's the thing, folks. With all this amazing technology comes, well, what we say, some challenges. For one, battery life. If you think you're annoying when your phone dies, try to explain to someone your pants stopped changing colors because you forgot to charge them last night. Sorry, these are not my real emotions. My parents just ran out of juice. They turned into like a gray or something. And then there's a whole issue of washing these high-tech garments because, let's be honest, who really wants to hand wash their $300 smart shirt every week? Honey, can you throw my shirt in the wash? Sure, did you remember to take out the microchips and the sensors? Oh crap, oh no. Now, the washing instructions on these things are like reading a manual for a spaceship or, whatever Tesla is sending into space. Remember, remove all electronics before washing. Hand wash in distilled water under the light of a full moon. Air dry for exactly 32 minutes, then reassemble with a tiny screwdriver that you will inevitably lose. But wait, there's more. Let's talk about the cost. The clothes don't just cost an arm and a leg, but they want your firstborn too. I mean, sure, I love a pair of pants that change color, but do I really want to pay $500 for the privilege? Especially when I know that in 6 months, there's going to be a newer version that's lighter, thinner, and probably comes with its own AI assistant. Now, and have you seen ads for these things? I mean, they're like freaking trailers for the next big superhero movie. I can hear the Avengers theme coming on right now. In a world where your clothing can do everything except wash itself, one man dares to buy a shirt that monitors his heart rate and tells him when to breathe. I mean, come on, it's just a shirt. Do I really need a mini movie to convince me to buy it? Well, for $300, I guess I do. But here's the kicker, folks. As much as I like to joke about it, technology-enabled clothing is probably here to stay. I mean, who wouldn't want to feel like Tony Stark every time they put on a jacket? And sure, it might be a little ridiculous now, but give it a few years and we'll all be wearing clothes that do everything but walk for us. So whether you're ready to embrace the future fashion or just trying to figure out how to charge your pants, one thing's for sure, technology is changing the way we dress, one ridiculous gadget at a time. And who knows, maybe one day we'll look back at the early days of smart clothing and laugh, just like we do now that we see those old clunky brick cell phones, the big old brick that people, anyway. That's it for the show tonight. I'm Jose Candelario. If you like anything that you like, please click subscribe, hit the like button, do all those kind of stuff now before you can do it on your clothes, all right? Stay smart and don't forget, no matter what you do, please change that shirt and wash it.